It's almost 2020, what futurist thing did you seriously think we'd have by now? My dad, who was born in 1950, is severely disappointed we don't have commercially available hoverboards or hovercars by now. He also thinks that hoverboards, the two-wheeled balance things, are a disgrace to the name. I have to agree. Yes, I'm fully aware of why flying cars aren't the best idea. He means hovercars, not flying cars. Cars that hover a few feet off the ground. Their purpose? None, really, but still pretty frickin' cool. While I wanted hoverboards. I'm pretty impressed. I mean seriously, we have fingerprint scanners in our phones. If someone told me that was a thing when I was 8, I would have shit myself. I thought it only happened in spy movies to get past restricted areas.
Hey guys, much like you, I love reading people's stories on Ask Reddit. Unfortunately, there's a lot of weird middle school level, just thought experiment type hypotheticals like nice try Baskin Robbins. I don't find this compelling, so that's why I've made it my mission to trawl and crawl through Ask Reddit and find the very best content and put it in your ears. That's why I'm begging you, like and subscribe. If there's anything I can do to help you out, give you the kind of content that you crave to help you get through your workday, let me know in a comment. But please, like and subscribe.
Jetpacks always seem like they're Jewish over the horizon. Safe, commercially mass production viable jetpacks. Of course concepts and collector's items exist. And that band sounds like one of those Imagine Dragons yuppies somehow figured out that a distortion pedal is a thing. I don't know if I thought it should be here by now, but I'd like to think we're getting close to universal translators everyone could wear around their neck and just punch in Japanese to German or something and the device hears your speech and translates it via a speaker. Maybe even little robot hands for ASL. I usually don't edit a top comment like this, but good God people, the hands were a joke. Obviously you'd go with text. That is all. I grew up in the 1960s and I thought we would have been much further along in manned space exploration by now. We haven't gone to Mars yet or even back to the moon since 1972. But I can't complain about the great science returned from unmanned missions, especially the discovery of other solar systems. On the positive side, the internet and the smartphone are way beyond anything I imagined happening in my lifetime. I was sitting at a bus stop in Finland and tested the Google Translate app out on my phone. It listened to the girl next to me talking and immediately translated what she said into English. It was profoundly embarrassing because I didn't realize it was going to speak it out loud. I wasn't even trying to eavesdrop, I was just curious how the technology worked. Since she understood English, she and all of her friends stopped talking and stared at me. I wanted to throw myself under the bus from embarrassment. Faster traveling across continents be faster, or at least, cheaper. Seems like we're stuck on the same planes from 10 years ago, would expect the modern ones to be way faster by now, and the current ones we have should be cheaper to reflect that. Something like taking the bullet train versus the regular train. Both should be available at different price points, a dramatically higher age cap. Not just average lifespan, but the top of the top lifespan. I always thought it'd be cool to see 200-year-old person. As a kid I thought would also be able to transfer out consciousness to a computer or robot for storage until a vessel like an android were invented. Fuck me. I have, 10 gigabytes of free storage from Gmail. I can't keep track anymore, it's probably even higher, but I can't fucking attach more than 25 megabytes? Fuck me, it takes less time to download 25 megabytes today than it did to get a plain text message over dial-up when I started using the internet. Surely attachments could be a little bigger. I work in payroll and used to print like hundreds of pages a week. Finally led a project that made us go paperless. All I did was propose instead of printing out pages to write on them, we instead save them as PDF and work on them on Adobe. Turns out it's cheaper than all of the paper ink we use, and our process is faster because we're not bottlenecked by dying printers. Now we almost never touch it.
This year, like I said, I'm having a midlife crisis. I've started a YouTube channel and I'm on a big health kick. One thing that I found is very easy to eat, very easy to prepare, is I heat up chickpeas with chicken broth and tikka masala. And there are two schools of thought about how you should eat beans. Some people believe you should buy the dry beans and soak them, but I tried that and it was a disaster. So I buy canned beans every time. And if I'm opening like 2 cans a day to be on this diet, it is a massive pain in the ass if the can has this jagged metal edge. You know, I'm worried if like little bits of metal are getting into my food and going to slice up my intestines. So I found this special can opener that actually opens the can in a way that is completely safe, no metals getting in your food, and is 1,000 times better than any other can opener I've ever used. So if you wind up, opening a lot of cans for whatever reason, maybe you've got a cat or something, you must buy this can opener from my affiliate link.
So I actually had an assignment for this in second grade in 1993, which I have the drawing for somewhere. I thought that every car in 2020 would have a microwave in the glove compartment and a fridge in the center console and a fold-out bed in the trunk. And one of those Twizzler dispensers on the ceiling. Because Wayne's World, of course. This is what I envisioned as a 7-year-old people. Obviously I know what an RV is and what we are technologically capable of at this point. I was the youngest of 5 kids and always got the shaft food-wise, like the worst flavored popsicles, plain Cheerios since everyone hogged the good stuff before me, the smallest or least topped piece of pizza, so I think I really just wanted a car where I could hoard snacks, lol. Most other kids were talking about robots or flying cars or lightsabers and stuff. The closest we've got now is a toothpaste that kind of fills in tiny holes and cracks in your enamel. But temporarily. Novamin, everybody. Just make sure the version of Sensodyne sold in your country actually contains the stuff. Some don't. I have to buy mine online because the FDA enjoys watching me get cavities. The problem with flying cars is that everyone would have them. People can't drive straight forward. Now you want to add up and down to complicate the matter? First time someone flies into your roof, you aren't going to think flying cars is such a good idea. There was a test program in Oklahoma City of an expanded supersonic flight program. The residents found the sonic booms unbearable. This would require supersonic flight to begin and end over unpopulated areas, which would limit the flights in efficiency and value, since plane design for supersonic speeds is not optimal at slower speeds and vice versa. The city where I live has smart lights at every intersection, so if there's nobody else around, you get a green light before you even come to a stop. What I'd also like, though, are lights that can detect when traffic is starting to back up after the intersection, and preemptively turn red before people start filling it up. It's pretty frustrating to wait through 3 cycles to turn left onto a main street because people block the intersection at the end of each cycle. As I was growing up, the internet made everyone so much smarter. Checking facts was easier than ever. Being informed about what went on in the world became possible for almost everyone here. I expected that by this time, we would be mostly rid of propaganda, lies in elections, and outright collective dumbness. Instead, we live in the area of fake news, and politicians and news channels in a lot of countries just seem to lie more than ever. I thank the gods every day that it isn't the 50s and shaving your head is acceptable, that it's actually kind of in style right now. So I've been shaving my head since 25 and will continue until I die. Okay. Skull shape determines eligibility. I get it. LPT, if you have evidence of crime on your phone and it is about to be seized by police, turn it off so that it displays this message. Your passcode is protected by the 5th Amendment, but your fingerprint is not. Drop the U, so it's just an LPT even if you're committing crime. Therese, nothing unethical about exercising your rights. Also, I should say that I anal and am sure Therese plenty of ways the judicial system can fuck you in the ass as well, so you're probably best off breaking the phone before they get their hands on it. Have you been to Universal Studios in Hollywood? It's literally like a 300 escalator run from the top of the park to the bottom, maybe more. Just looked it up. It's called the Starway. It's 14 of a mile long and takes 7 to 8 minutes. Here's a video. I was born in '80, and my view of growing up in the '90s was that everyone was going to be prosperous, technology is going to advance rapidly, and we'd end up in a Star Trek-like altruistic society. One of those things happened. iPhones are pretty cool, I guess.
I turned 36 this year, and I decided to focus on my physical fitness, so I bought a swim club membership. The only problem was, most of the time when I go swimming, I wind up getting an ear infection. So, it turns out that normal earplugs that kind of irritate your ear canal, they don't really work, they don't keep the water out, but there is an amazing kind of earplug. It's called Mack's Pillar Soft Silicone earplugs that, they feel great, they keep the water out 100%, they're reusable, and they don't irritate your ear canal at all, no issues. If you've ever had a severe ear infection, you don't want to experience that again. It can permanently damage your hearing if you're unlucky. So, investing in these earplugs is definitely a good idea. Also, when my baby was crying later this year and I could not get to sleep, I used the same earplugs and they worked great. I was able to sleep right next to a crying baby. So be sure to click my affiliate link and purchase some of these Mack's earplugs today.
It'll do you one better. I just started a new job and our elevators don't have floor buttons. Outside the elevator, you use a touch screen to pick a floor, then the screen tells you to go to a specific elevator. You get on that elevator and you go right to your floor. I'm not telling you where I work, not with that attitude. Alexa, tell Google to play Skyrim on my dishwasher. Alexa, here's 48,000 results from Google on rim washing. Should I play the first video from Pornhub? Thanks for the silver foil you, Nathamal, Camel. Thanks anonymous stranger for the silver. In the 70s and even early 80s I was discouraged from dreaming of a job working with computers because only a very few companies had access to them. Little did anyone realize that in a few short decades virtually everyone would have a literal supercomputer in their pocket. The basic Boeing 747 was designed in the late 60s and flown commercially in 1970, so it's now 48 years old, although there have been significant upgrades to more recent variants. Some military aircraft, like the B-52, are even older in terms of basic design. While you would expect there to be more modern aircraft flying in the year 2018, I guess there are many practical reasons to have kept older aircraft flying. If nothing else, it's a testament to those mid-20th century designers who created so much with slide rules, lucky strikes and pictures of martini. Blue Origin is selling 100,000 tickets for a 10-minute ride to space. SpaceX is aiming for one ticket to Mars, two-way if you want, but you could stay for life, on their Starship rocket for 100K 200K. Still a crapton of money, but a smaller crapton than previously expected. It'll only go lower in the future. There is no way SpaceX would ever consider allowing paying customers on Starship flights to Mars before a base is built up, and before it's been proven as a safe system. The first people to Mars will certainly be highly trained astronauts.
If there's ever a fly, or a mosquito, or like a yellow jacket, or some weird unknown insect in my house, my wife will not leave me alone until it is dead, and she will blame me personally for having a house that an insect entered. The only way that I'm able to buy peace for myself so that I can work on this YouTube channel that you enjoy is by using an electric fly swatter with an affiliate link in the description. The way this fly swatter works is that you hold down the little button and then you whack the fly as if it were a tennis ball and it looks like a tennis racket. And what the electricity does is it stuns the insect or kills it so that you can clean it up easily. And the fact that it's a tennis racket gives you a much better chance of actually hitting the insect. And I found it invaluable, and I hope that you will decide to also use it in your home. And, if you're like a teenage boy, you can also whack other teenage boys with it. We used to do that in the Boy Scouts.